So the earnings calendar this week, we have Tesla on Monday, biggest name on the list. Tesla is well off its lows. We'll see how the earnings perform. People just love Tesla. People just love Elon Musk, but I don't understand the valuation, but I don't understand the valuation of a lot of shit. So the general rule of thumb is if the stock is going higher, just fucking buy it, but wait till the earnings. I'm very curious to see what these earnings are. I have a feeling no matter what, people are just gonna love him. I don't understand it. This is a name I have no, medium-term, long-term projections. If I trade it on a daily basis. Tuesday, we have Microsoft, AMD, Starbucks, and Google, a full roster. We have a lot of other names. These are the names I am focusing on. So unlike Tesla, I understand why Microsoft's breaking higher. It's a similar stock to Amazon and Google, where they have a huge cloud ecosystem called Azure. And a lot of people are buying into Azure or moving their e-commerce or tech platforms onto Azure. So Microsoft is a huge provider of this service, which is why the stock is moving higher. I would just wait till after earnings on this. This tape is on Microsoft is relentless. Wednesday, we have Apple, Facebook, Boeing, and Ford. Apple's been on a massive run. I think they're single-handedly pulling the S&P. Okay, not true, not single-handedly, but they're pulling the S&P up quite a bit on Apple alone. Let's see what's happening here with this stock on earnings. Obviously, these are all basic earnings plays. Thursday, we have Amazon and we have Skyworks. Skyworks is a name I didn't mention before, so its ticker is SWKS. Watch that on Thursday. Friday, we have Chevron and ExxonMobil. Watch those two names, but honestly speaking, I would rather trade earnings from earlier in the week like Microsoft, AMD, Facebook, and Apple. It's a huge roster next week. These are the names that I'm watching rather than going through everything. You can also potentially throw in iRobot. I think iRobot's going Tuesday. But honestly, I wouldn't focus on all these names because the big name Monday being Tesla, you can probably... After earnings announcements, you can probably trade it the rest of the week as your primary trade. As usual, I'm already drunk. This week I am drinking Apothic Red. I've already drank this before, but this is a special version. It's sparkling. It's a limited time version. That's actually not why I bought it. I actually bought it because it was $5.99. I am a cheapskate. Really quickly, last week was quite a week. We had what looked like the S&P was going to break down lower. Of course, that did not happen because Jerome Powell has got his money printers ready. The S&P once again closed 4180. Anyway, let's go over some individual names. A lot of the same names you'll see me talking about here. We have NEO right off the bat. It is creeping back up again. It's making another run. If it continues its run, it might not be the worst time to buy. Keep in mind, these are all trades. You have to be super nimble with these types of trades because NEO can also break right back down. The other stock to watch is AXP. It had a little bit of an interesting earnings trade altogether. It dropped a little bit, on the day, on the 23rd. I would actually maybe even look at how it trades over the next few days. Personally, I might pick up a few shares as a trade. You have to be very nimble. All these stocks are very overvalued and they can turn on you in a matter of minutes. Intel stock, that was the one stock I called out last week. You might as well start shorting Intel. And honestly speaking, with Intel stock, it's one of the few positions that I feel like you can stay short on Intel for quite some time. Just keep in mind it's got a dividend yield. Its competitor AMD is still blowing it out of the water. When I say short it, I don't mean short and hold. When you get pops, you can try to short it for a trade. It's one of the few things that helps balance a portfolio that's very heavily long. Take a position like Intel on the short side. I don't have a trade on Intel, quite frankly, but It'll be one of the first positions I short if the market does turn. Remind me never to drink wine while doing these videos. I am falling asleep, you guys. Twitter and Snap still breaking. I would still watch it. I'm a little under the weather right now, so sorry if I'm scratching my nose on camera. Pinterest, add that to your watch list. It's breaking a bit higher. I would pay attention to that, as well as Microsoft. Coin, for Coinbase, it makes a great day trade. For most people, they will probably only be able to buy this stock. It is a very, very volatile name, so keep that in mind. You're probably not going to be able to short it, but pay attention to Coin. It is a great name to trade for the time being. Outside of that, a few names that might be worth buying the dip. Keep in mind, buying the dip is very dangerous. Just because the stock has fallen a lot doesn't mean it will go back up. It can continue to fall a lot. Buying the dip, no one can predict the bottom. These trades might not go your way. So do these in smaller sizes if you do decide to take them. American Well, it's actually off its lows, which is kind of the only reason I'm bringing it up. It was as low as $16 a share a few weeks back, or as of April 16th. It's at $18.73. I think potentially it's not the worst buy with its overall valuation, still under $5 billion. They're a Teladoc company. They have a potential for a lot of growth. I don't necessarily think you should buy a lot of American Well, but maybe focus on the name to add a few shares here on the downtick. The other name I was going to mention is Workhorse. They lost a major contract for USPS. Kathy Wood has been buying a lot of Workhorse, apparently, from what I heard. But personally, I don't own any Workhorse right now. I am focused on the name. If it does turn around, I might take a piece of it. It is down well off the highs. Just keep in mind, buying the dip is dangerous. So if you do buy Workhorse, buy it in very small size. Plug, Fuel Cell, Quantum Escape, these are all names that I'm starting to see the price direction move higher. Having said that, the trend is not really still bullish yet on any of these names. These are all names I would maybe consider buying the dip, but just watch the tape for the time being and don't make any drastic maneuvers. We're finally starting to see some movement upwards in Viacom. It's at 41.70 as of Friday. Hopefully we see a push on Viacom. This was an example for me where buying the dip doesn't work, because I think when I bought Viacom, it was around $42 a share. $42.40 was my overall cost basis on Viacom. And, you know, it dropped as low as $37 a share from that time frame. I didn't sell it because the key rule I follow when buying the dip is I don't size up when buying a dip. Really small size on things that I can afford to lose. Typically, I'll buy in larger size on momentum names that the trend is already established, and I'm just trying to capture just a quick trade. Those types of trades I buy with huge size. Buying the dip, I buy very, very small sizing. No IPOs this week. I am gonna go to bed, you guys. I am completely drunk and wasted. That's what I'm watching. No IPOs worth watching this week. Hope you all stay sober and trade sober as well. Don't lose all your money, and I'll see you next week. Thanks. I just want the money, 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 money.